Published 7:45 Eastern Standard Time, the 5th of March 2018. Updated 11:23 Eastern Standard Time, the 5th of March 2018. UK Sport have said they are considering all the recommendations made by the Digital, Culture, Media and Sport Select Committee in their explosive report into doping in sport, including a call for Team Sky and British Cycling to pay UK anti-doping for money spent on the Sir Bradley Wiggins Jiffy Bag investigation. In a report published on Monday, the DCMS said, UK Sport should determine an amount of compensation that should be due to UKAD from British Cycling and Team Sky, to cover the costs of an investigation that was made longer and harder by their failure to keep proper records. It would be an unprecedented move from UK Sport, that a spokesperson said on Monday. Protecting the integrity of sport is of the utmost priority for UK Sport. Without integrity, our vision for inspiring the nation through Olympic and Paralympic success is simply not possible. Sir David Brailsford chats to Sir Bradley Wiggins ahead of Stage 4 of the 2013 Giro d'Italia. A report states that Wiggins used controversial drug triamcinolone to enhance performance. Matt Lawton, Sports News Reporter of the Year for 4 years in a row, has delivered a string of brilliant exclusives to Rock Cycling and Athletics. Chief sports writer Martin Samuel has waded in to ask the tough questions about Lord Coe's knowledge of the athletics doping scandal as we continue to lead the way on these award-winning stories. The importance of investigative journalism, led by Sportsmail and the Sunday Times, is highlighted in the DCMS report published this morning. It said, the work of investigative journalists has helped bring this to the fore. Rather than the work being a declaration of war, a very ill-judged statement by Lord Coe, it should be seen as a warning light that was acted on too late. Doping is abhorrent, stealing irreplaceable opportunities from athletes and destroying the dreams of many. We therefore must do everything in our power to root it out. We welcome the Digital, Culture, Media and Sports Committee report on combating doping in sport, and we'll consider all the findings and recommendations and will play our part in winning the war over doping in sport. Also in a statement responding to the report, UKAD Chief Executive Nicole Sapstead said her agency was delighted when DCMS upped its grant, but agrees with the committee that this does not preclude wealthy sports from providing more funding. She said, we welcome the report by the Digital, Culture, Media and Sport Select Committee and thank them for their thorough investigation into doping. This inquiry provided UK anti-doping with a useful opportunity to explain in more detail the nature of our work, the parameters in which we work in and the complexity of the doping environment. This report is a very helpful step forward in the fight for clean sport, and we applaud the committee for bringing a number of issues to light, and we hope it will further encourage sports to do all they can to ensure anti-doping remains a top priority in order to protect the integrity of sport. The reputations of Wiggins and Brailsford are in ruins after the explosive parliamentary report accused them of cheating to win the 2012 Tour de France. Published on Monday, the DCMS committee's 54-page Combating Doping in Sport report states that Wiggins used the controversial drug triamcinolone to enhance his performance and not for medical reasons. Team Sky leader Brailsford is also eviscerated for the team's unethical use of the drug, raising the question of whether his position is untenable. The astonishing admission that the use of triamcinolone by Wiggins and Team Sky was unethical was made by Shane Sutton, who coached Wiggins to that first British victory in France and Olympic gold in London 9 days later. He was also Brailsford's right-hand man at both Sky and British Cycling. Sutton's statement alone is hugely damaging to Wiggins, Brailsford and Team Sky. The reputation of Wiggins is in ruins after an explosive parliamentary report accused him of using triamcinolone to enhance his performance and not for medical reasons. Team Sky leader Brailsford is also eviscerated for the team's unethical use of the drug. Team Sky used drugs within anti-doping regulations to enhance the performance of riders and not just to treat medical need. Sir Bradley Wiggins' use of triamcinolone was unethical, according to his former coach Shane Sutton. Wiggins may have been treated with triamcinolone on up to 9 occasions, in and out of competition, during a 4-year period. Sir David Brailsford oversaw a failure of management at Sky, and his testimony to MPs contradicted the report's findings. There is no reliable evidence that there was fluimucil in the Jiffy Bag given to Wiggins before the 2011 Critérium du Dauphiné. The government has been urged to make supplying banned drugs to athletes to enhance performance a criminal offence. Team Sky, British Cycling and UK Athletics have all been criticised for their lack of accurate record keeping. Lord Coe misled MPs, and his claims he did not know about Russian doping until December 2014 lack credibility. Athletics world governing body has a tattered reputation, and its behavior indicates an apparent desire to suppress revelations about doping in sport. The General Medical Council should investigate England football Dr. Robin Chakravartty over his failure to record the dosage of an injection he gave Mo Farah before the 2014 London Marathon. Wiggins has been under intense scrutiny since Russian hackers revealed in 2016 that he had obtained a medical exemption to use triamcinolone, a powerful corticosteroid that has a history of abuse in cycling because it reduces a rider's weight without decreasing power, before the 2012 Tour and 2 other major races. And Sportsmail's revelations about a medical package ordered by Team Sky for Wiggins in June 2011, a jiffy bag that allegedly contained triamcinolone, led to an investigation by UK anti-doping and formed a significant part of the DCMS inquiry into the abuse of performance-enhancing drugs in sport. On Sunday night, Wiggins said, "I find it so sad that accusations can be made, where people can be accused of things they have never done which are then regarded as facts. I strongly refute the claim that any drug was used without medical need. I hope to have my say in the next few days and put my side across." The UKAD investigation exposed a lack of medical record keeping at Team Sky. They have never been able to provide evidence of the medication administered to Wiggins despite claiming the package contained a legal decongestant. The doctor at the centre of the riddle, Dr. Richard Freeman, resigned from the position he still held at British Cycling before facing disciplinary action and is now the subject of an investigation by the General Medical Council. That investigation is focused on the mysterious delivery of testosterone patches to the headquarters of Team Sky and British Cycling in Manchester. It places the team under yet more scrutiny at a time when their star rider, Chris Froome, is facing a possible doping ban for a failed drugs test. The astonishing admission that the use of triamcinolone by Wiggins and Team Sky was unethical was made by Shane Sutton, pictured in December 2016. He coached Wiggins to 2012 Tour de France win and Olympic gold in London 9 days later. But the DCMS report, which noted Brailsford's attempts to persuade this newspaper not to run the jiffy bag story, is hugely damning, saying, "Wiggins used triamcinolone, not to treat medical need, but to improve his power-to-weight ratio ahead of the race. Team Sky did cross the ethical line that David Brailsford says he himself drew for Team Sky." Wiggins admitted to the committee in written evidence that he had also used triamcinolone out of competition when a therapeutic use exemption, TUE, was not required. Wiggins possibly used triamcinolone as many as 9 times over 4 years. A source told the committee that Wiggins and a small group of key support riders were all using corticosteroids out of competition to lean down in preparation for the major races. The committee were shown further information that the substance requested by Dr. Freeman for Wiggins in 2011 was triamcinolone. The committee believed Team Sky and British Cycling should pay compensation to UK anti-doping to cover the cost of their investigation into the jiffy bag. It is the conclusion to the section on cycling that is most bruising for Wiggins, Brailsford and Team Sky. From the evidence regarding the use of triamcinolone at Team Sky during the period under investigation, and particularly in 2012, we believe this powerful corticosteroid was being used to prepare Bradley Wiggins, and possibly other riders supporting him, for the Tour de France. It reads, "The purpose of this was not to treat medical need, but to improve his power-to-weight ratio ahead of the race." The application for the TUE for the triamcinolone for Bradley Wiggins, ahead of the 2012 Tour de France, also meant he benefited from the performance-enhancing properties of this drug during the race. This does not constitute a violation of the WADA code, but it does cross the ethical line that David Brailsford says he himself drew for Team Sky. In this case, and contrary to the testimony of David Brailsford in front of the committee, we believe drugs were being used by Team Sky, within the WADA rules, to enhance the performance of riders, and not just to treat medical need. Former team doctor Dr. Richard Freeman is centre of a General Medical Council investigation. Sky say FLUIMUCIL was in the notorious jiffy bag. Fluimucil is a decongestant that helps get rid of mucus which blocks the airways. It is allowed by anti-doping authorities to treat coughs and sore throats. It can be taken as a tablet or using a nebulizer. It is not licensed in the UK but is available over the counter for just £1.22 in France. But British cycling coach Simon Cope went to extraordinary lengths to deliver it to Bradley Wiggins at La Touche, travelling from Manchester to Geneva. But MPs were told it was triamcinolone. Triamcinolone is a powerful corticosteroid used to treat asthma and pollen allergies. A therapeutic use exemption is needed as it can help recovery from strenuous activity, delay fatigue and help weight loss. It can be administered orally, by injection, by inhalation or as a cream. Wiggins is alleged to have been treated with it up to 9 times over 4 years, despite former professional cyclist David Miller insisting it was a once-a-year drug due to the stress it puts on your body. The report also says, the committee is not in a position to state what was in the package delivered to Team Sky by Simon Coppet-Latouche on 12 June 2011. Dr. Freeman has stated that it was Fluimucil, and an allegation was made to UKAD, and has been seen by the committee, that says it was triamcinolone. We do not believe there is reliable evidence that it was Fluimucil, as Dr. Freeman will not now confirm it was, and, previously, he was the only reported source of this information. The mystery surrounding the delivery of the package, and the extraordinary lengths to which Team Sky went to obtain an easily available drug delivered to them, have also fueled speculation as to what the package might have contained. There remains no documented evidence as to what was in the package. If the package contained triamcinolone, which we know Bradley Wiggins, or his team, wanted him to take around 30 May 2011, and it was indeed taken, then the impacts and consequences on all concerned would have been profound. Team Sky's statements that coaches and team managers are largely unaware of the methods used by the medical staff to prepare pro cyclists for major races seem incredible, and inconsistent with their original aim of winning clean, and maintaining the highest ethical standards within their sport. How can David Brailsford ensure that his team is performing to his requirements, if he does not know and cannot tell what drugs the doctors are giving the riders? David Brailsford must take responsibility for these failures. Wiggins admitted in writing that he had also used triamcinolone out of competition. This contradicts what Brailsford told a parliamentary hearing when asked if Wiggins had used triamcinolone beyond the 3 occasions when he had a medical exemption. "Not to my knowledge," he replied. The report said that, from the evidence presented to the committee, it might appear that Bradley Wiggins may have been treated with triamcinolone on up to 9 occasions, in and out of competition, during a 4-year period. It would be hard to know what possible medical need could have required such a seemingly excessive use of this drug. The DCMS report noted Brailsford's attempts to persuade Sportsmail not to run Jiffy Bag story. Sir David Brailsford, the highly successful former performance director of British Cycling, 54, was awarded a knighthood in 2013 but was last night fighting for his job as general manager of Team Sky. Shane Sutton, Brailsford's right-hand man, the 60-year-old Australian left his role as technical director at British Cycling in 2016 after claims he oversaw a culture of fear. Sir Bradley Wiggins, the 37-year-old 5-time Olympic champion and first British winner of the Tour de France, is fighting to clear his name after his use of triamcinolone was branded unethical. Dr. Richard Freeman, former Team Sky and British Cycling doctor, administered the contents of the mysterious Jiffy Bag package in 2011 and is the subject of an ongoing GMC investigation. Lord Coath, double Olympic champion, 61, finds himself accused of misleading MPs in his role as president of World Athletics body, the IAAF. Some Farah questions remain over the 4-time Olympic champion's use of a controversial supplement before his 2014 London Marathon debut. Dr. Robin Chakravarthy of England football team doctor's failure to keep detailed medical records while working at UK Athletics was labelled inexcusable, just as extraordinary as a reference to confidential material from a well-placed and respected source about Bradley Wiggins and a smaller group of riders who trained separately from the rest of the team. The report says, the source said they were all using corticosteroids out of competition to lean down in preparation for the major races that season. Brailsford previously told the committee such a drug would also be administered for medical reasons. Sutton explained to the committee that Freeman had informed him in advance that a TU was in place when Wiggins won the Critérium du Dauphiné on June 12, 2011. The application for the TU was actually made on May 30 but did not start until June 26. As Sutton said when he appeared before the committee, Freeman told him Wiggins had been sorted at the end of the race with the medication in the package. In written evidence, Sutton told the committee, Dr. Freeman told me virtually the minute he got the TU, and I think it was end of May 2011, but I can't be 100%. That's why I thought everything was above board. Fluimucil, the decongestant Freeman claims was in the package, does not require it. Freeman never appeared before committee, citing ill health, but the DCMS asked him to respond after receiving further information that the package contained triamcinolone. Freeman declined to comment. It emerged during the course of their UKAD investigation into the package that there was no record of what it contained, partly because Freeman did not follow Sky's own medical protocols and partly because he claims to have had a laptop stolen while on holiday in Greece in 2014. The committee report said, responsibility for the continued doubt on this matter rests on British Cycling, Team Sky and the individuals concerned, all of whom have failed to keep simple records. Such failure was unprofessional and inexcusable, it also said. Both David Brailsford and Dr. Steve Peters, medical director at the time, must share some of the responsibility. UKAD Chief Executive Nicole Sapstead said her agency was delighted when DCMS upped its grant but agrees that this does not preclude wealthy sports from providing more funding. The committee said that UK sport should determine an amount of compensation that should be due to UKAD from British Cycling and Team Sky, to cover the costs of an investigation that was made longer and harder by their failure to keep proper records. A statement from Team Sky said they take full responsibility for mistakes that were made, they added. However, the report also makes the serious claim that medication has been used by the team to enhance performance. We strongly refute this. The report also includes an allegation of widespread triamcinolone use by Team Sky riders ahead of the 2012 Tour de France. Again, we strongly refute this allegation. We are surprised and disappointed that the committee has chosen to present an anonymous and potentially malicious claim in this way, without presenting any evidence or giving us an opportunity to respond. A statement from British Cycling said, this inquiry had a catalytic effect on our organisation. This report is important, thorough and timely. An IAAF statement said, we thank the DCMS Select Committee for acknowledging the work that has been done by the IAAF in the last year. In addition, we will write to them to explain some of the more complex aspects of anti-doping that have been misunderstood. Following the publication of the Digital, Culture, Media and Sport Select Committee's report on doping in sport, UK Anti-Doping Chief Executive Nicole Sapstead said, funding. We were delighted when in January 2018 the Department for Digital, Culture, Media and Sport (DCMS) announced that UKAD would receive further funding of £6.1 million over 2 years to help us undertake our role. We agree with the committee that this funding does not preclude wealthy sports from providing more funding for anti-doping, and we are keen to work with sports to examine ways that could be achieved, including a sponsorship levy as suggested by the committee. PASVA welcome the recognition that anti-doping activities require more powers, and we are currently working with DCMS on a number of recommendations following the criminalization review in October 2017. This includes allowing UKAD doping control officers unfettered access to all sports venues and sports governing bodies routinely providing their membership details to us. We will continue to work with our partners to explore what further powers could be provided to the UKAD intelligence and investigations team without the need for legislation. Steroids. VER believed that the importation of steroids, even for personal use, should be made illegal, and that was the focus of a submission that we made to the Advisory Council on the Misuse of Drugs (ACMD) in September 2017. The ACMD inquiry is ongoing, and we look forward to hearing their conclusions and recommendations to ministers. Triamcinolone is currently only banned in competition. UKAD has in the past made representations that it and other glucocorticoids should be banned at all times, including out of competition. We understand that a World Anti-Doping Agency (WADA) appointed glucocorticoid expert working group has met to consider this, but that it concluded that the status of glucocorticoids on the prohibited list should not change. UKAD will continue to push for this change. Tramadol. They have called for tramadol to be included in WADA's prohibited list and will continue to push for this change. The package, or Jiffy Bag. In November 2017 we announced that our investigation into the package, sometimes referred to as the Jiffy Bag, had concluded with no anti-doping rule violations issued as a result. As with all investigations, UKAD may revisit matters if new material and information were to come to light, but we are no longer actively following any lines of inquiry in relation to this matter. UKAD will not comment further in relation to this. British Cycling. Following our inquiries into the package, we wrote to British Cycling to remind them of their obligations. We have been pleased by the openness shown by British Cycling's new chief executive and chair to put in place new measures, and we welcome the fact that they have indicated they would like to be an early adopter of our forthcoming sports assurance framework. We look forward to working with them to achieve this. Role of the National Anti-Doping Panel. It is not correct to say that UKAD are running the courts that they are trying athletes in. The National Anti-Doping Panel, NADP, a separate, independent body, funded by DCMS and run by Sport Resolutions, appoints the tribunals and oversees the hearings that determine whether an anti-doping rule violation has been committed. Each tribunal appointed by the NADP determines its cases independently. UKAD does not run these hearings.